And we're here. Hey, boys and girls and all kinds of friends of Mitch and Mike's voiceover journey, welcome.
Hi.
To a special episode. Oh, today we have Jason Beard in the house again. We had Jason on, about a year ago, and found out all the wonderful things about you and your how you came up with all these ideas for Shoestring TV, and tell you what, man, in that year, things have blown up. And we are excited to talk to you, and we kind of wanted to film a little special episode here, just Shoestring TV centric, to talk about all the things that are coming up, all the things that everybody can look forward to finding on your streaming service of choice, and just go into Shoestring TV and listening to Leo Brawn and Magnetar and Topaz and Stillman and all the other things that are going on. So, hey, Jason.
Hi, Jason.
Well, since this is a special episode, I just think I should say this at the top. I can't tolerate gluten anymore, guys.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Jason's getting emotional. I'm so sorry.
Piano.
This is a Mitch and Mike's voiceover journey exclusive. Jason is now unfortunately gluten free.
Yeah.
As a moment of silence
episode
for Jason and his bowels.
Thank you.
Wow, you guys.
Moment of silence.
And we're back.
We're back. Thanks, guys. I needed to get that off my chest.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for letting us have that. Mitch is like, can we start over?
You had many years of gluten. I think you're going to be all right. At least it's not lactose. All right?
Mm.
Oh, yeah, that's
no more ice cream would kill me.
If anyone is my age and doesn't understand what a special episode is, look it up. That's what that was. Because I had no fucking clue what was going on.
Yeah, those of us that grew up with 80s sitcoms like Facts of Life and Family Ties and Cosby Show. Can I say that?
on a very special episode.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
This week.
I just learned earlier, but you guys are going to have to look it up because we're not going to explain it to you freaks.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was self-evident. I think it was obvious.
Yeah. We made it clear.
Yeah.
All right. So Jason, I mean, one of the things, probably when y'all are going to see this, because we're recording this well in advance, probably when y'all are going to see and or hear this, will be coinciding with the release of, drumroll please, Leo Brawn Season 2. Get ready to have your pants scared off and all the weird things that happen in hell as Leo Brawn Season 2 drops.
First and foremost, everybody knows when you make it to hell, those pants come straight
off. I would imagine.
So just imagine everybody in the ORA, they're all Winnie the Pooh right now. They're all doing, like Porky Pig. There's nothing not down below.
Holy!
I was unaware of that, and that is probably the most scary thing about that show.
Is that why there's all those slapping sounds? Like the whole every episode, there's just like
whenever they're running.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Wow.
There's some insider knowledge.
There you go.
Okay. So, Leo Brawn Season 2.
Okay.
Let's get into it.
Let's do it.
Okay. What did we end with? Does anyone remember? Jason remembers for sure.
Jason remembers.
What are people like? People are about to see what because of why. Remind us.
Weirdo Howard. We heard he was going to kill Sebastian. And then we hear a gunshot and a scream. We don't know who fired. We don't know if that hit Sebastian. We don't know if maybe that was the marksman that took care of something.
The marksman. What a character.
What we do know is we left Leo injured, and as he's losing consciousness, he sees a letter that was from his son that basically says, we're waiting for you back at home, Dad. We got a meatloaf waiting for you. I don't know if everybody remembers that in the letter. It was quite poignant.
I don't.
I don't remember meatloaf, but
Anyway, so that's where we left off. So big cliffhanger. So we're gonna come back. We'll figure out what happened there in the finale of season 1, and then we're gonna go right into the episode. Will be called Revelations, and we're gonna actually start to do some payoff for those loyal listeners out there, so they can actually start hearing. Okay, what is this? All these things, all these ideas that are being thrown out there. Now we're gonna add some meat on the bone and start telling them a little bit about what it is. So they're not, it's not going to be like
all mystery.
I love Lost, but it's not going to be like Lost where they're just like throwing stuff out and they just throw it away and you never find out.
That was Lost, man. That's what I was thinking of as soon as you said that. Was you get more questions than answers every episode.
So much unresolved. Yeah, I loved that show, but so much unresolved. So I'm glad to hear that you're going to resolve all the unknown questions.
Really try, at least attempt to. Yeah, that's the goal.
Yeah, it's hard to hit 100%, but that's good.
Yeah.
Now, for me, it's exciting because I came to the show late. I actually was not in season 1. I was in the Arnie special and the Herman special.
That's right.
And that was kind of my introduction to Shoestring TV, was being in those. Thanks, Mitch, for pulling me in, by the way. And so I've been excited to have some fun stuff to do in Leo Brawn season 2. Can't tell you who I am yet, but
No.
it will play a part in this thing. So
can you at least tell us, the listeners and the listeners, if you know what I'm saying, of at least maybe some character types they might see? Is there any sort of, without ruining anything, is there any sort of like, you might finally get a Pokemon or something? I don't know. Like,
Yes, big announcement.
there's Pokemon in hell.
I don't know.
I mean, really, that doesn't surprise me.
Charizard's down there, guaranteed. Mr. Mime is definitely. Sorry, go.
He's definitely down
Go
there.
ahead. Yeah.
Well, I can tell you, so sort of alluding to what Mike was alluding to, is that without giving too much detail, he will play a bit of a foil to one of the very prominent characters in hell. Perhaps somebody that's kind of running things down there, if you know what I'm saying.
Perhaps somebody played by the one and only Jim Frank.
Jim Frank.
Oh wow.
And so he's going to be a character that's going to kind of come from left field, and then he's going to really muck up the works for Satan and Margot Muldoon. And so that's one character, one new character that we're going to see. We're also going to start hinting at, what is this transformation? What is the new dawn? And we're going to start learning whether if there was, some sort of, if he had permission to do it in a way. So there's news from up on high that they're going to be performing some sort of audit of Dante. Like, here we're hearing about this new transformation thing. What's this all about? So there'll be. Some
if there's anything that just screams hell, it's an audit.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. So we're gonna have somebody come down. All right, come down and kind of like start poking around where maybe Satan doesn't want them to, but it's been a long time coming. So there's going to be some new characters, and we're going to expand upon the Herman mythology a little bit. Some things are going to happen there. We're going to learn a lot more about Lilith. We're going to learn about the man in the ugly orange tie, and maybe even some of his origins. So
Origins.
I like that.
Orange. So yeah.
And I've been at some of these table reads, like almost all of them, and oh my gosh, it's so fun. And I mean, if you're in the room with Eric, it's creepy.
Yeah. Eric loves to break into Herman.
He does. He does it anywhere. I love it.
He does it. I was in a workshop with Malik Berger, part of Shoestring TV now, by the way, the Malik Berger. And we were in basically an ongoing class together, and probably at least once a week he would break into Herman, and just he loves that. So
yeah,
Eric, if you're watching or listening, we love it too.
It's top character.
Thank you.
But I'm just sitting there thinking, like, now I'm really thinking, I don't hear about angels. I don't know if I often hear God unless someone's swearing. I find that very interesting, and this is something I don't even know. Is there any inkling of hell ever talking about heaven or any other plane that isn't Earth?
Yeah. The introduction of this character that's coming to perform the audit will be your first glimpse into the heavens and heaven, and that they're definitely not running things there, but they have some say, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So that's why they start poking around, like, well, this wasn't something that we allowed or whatever. Like, why did you do this? Why'd you create this city and those types of things? So they're going to start poking around in there. That will be the first time we sort of branch out. Season 2 really is about expanding beyond Dante and just Earth, and really starting to visit some of the other, like, locales, if you will, in Dante, like the city.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say, is that there's new settings in this season 2. I mean, there's if I'm not giving too much away, there's a road trip.
There's your road trip, and someone's getting laid.
Pretty wild and wacky, to say the least.
I feel like road trips always end.
There will be some love in the air. In fact, there's going to be an unusual pairing that at first will seem like it's going to be, just some brutal training. But
it's me and Mitch.
Through that, Mitch. But there'll be some interesting bonding, and there'll be a little bit of a love triangle that's going to form there.
Ooh.
So,
I love that.
Wow.
What triggers you to head down a specific path? Because in my mind can be linear sometimes. Is it just like, you get something bites you and you're like, ooh, this episode needs to, like, really, I want it to feel this way or be in this zone. Like, what triggers you to follow a certain path per episode?
That's a good question. Yeah, so with Leo, more than anything else, just because I've had so much time with it over the years, I have a really good understanding of where the whole series is heading ultimately. And so everything is sort of outlined already in terms of, there's definitely things that I haven't thought of, and there's definitely inspiration and things that'll hit me. Mm-hmm. I think what I try and do is, in terms of when it hits me and like, oh, I really want it to be this way, is to, I guess because I'm so influenced by movies, I'll think of like, ooh, it'd be cool if we did an episode that was more like this type of film or something. With Revelations in particular, it's going to be very much I don't know if you've ever seen like Oliver Stone's like JFK movie, but there's so much dense, heavy dialogue. These actors are just having to impart so much information, and yet it's never boring. You feel like it's all necessary, and it just flies. So that's the challenge. I guess if anything, I always try and challenge myself. Like with episode 7 of the first season, like Come Hell or High Water, I was like, I haven't personally heard of like a montage scene in an audio drama. So I was like, could I do that? Like, how would I do that? How can I translate that in an audio medium? So that's kind of when the bug bites, it's that. Can I take this genre or trope, and try and now apply it to this audio medium? So like for the pilot or the first episode of season 2, it's going to be very much like a political investigation kind of show with a lot of information being shared, but hopefully done in a really interesting way.
So what you're saying is you don't have enough on your plate writing 3 or more shows, directing a bunch, casting, putting together group hangouts, getting on podcasts. You need to challenge yourself more to make each episode maybe like the thing you decided to do God knows when.
That's an interesting way to put it. Well, I'll tell you, it is the most satisfying. And you know, so this year, we've not just expanding in Leo Brawn, we've expanded with Shoestring TV. So many of the cast members and people that have lent their voice and, you know, their talent to the shows, some are taking a role internally as well. So that's helped free up some of the time. So, like, you know, Jim and Terry are taking on some of the organizational aspects, and like with Topaz and Stillman, Jim has agreed he's going to sort of stay like the showrunner for the remainder of Topaz and Stillman, so that I can now just focus on the writing. But that'll also allow me to focus on writing the remainder of Leo Brawn season 2, and edit the episodes so that we can be ready for our spring launch.
Yeah.
So, and then Larry Oblander, he's talented actor in his own right, but he's been helping direct some of the Magnetar episodes. And then we have a guy, Gunnar Reddy, who's been associated with a lot of different things between Shoestring TV and some other productions as well. He's helping do the mixing and editing for Topaz and Stillman. So it's allowing some other. I think Bill Seller's going to come on and do something too, very similar vein, I think, for some of the shows. So I think it's allowing me to sort of be in my sweet spot, which is the writing.
Yeah.
And of course, providing amazing performances.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
We all know Jason's pivotal role as Screamer number 3 in episode 2 of no.
Actually,
Jason
when I listen to an episode, I go, who the fuck is that? I think it's generally Jason, because you blend in.
Adding, it's like, this needs something.
Yeah.
There we
Or,
go. That'll do
I'll
it.
be honest with you, a lot of the time it's like, shit, I forgot to cast that one. Yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah.
It's usually what
Walla, walla,
happens.
walla.
Except
Yeah.
for Tony Girder. Tony Girder was the one that I wanted to.
You want it for
whatever
yourself?
reason, I wanted to do that one.
Now,
Yeah, that's funny.
this thing has grown so many legs. I love it for you, first of all, because you are the catalyst. This is your baby. Leo Brawn, I mean, all of Shoestring TV. So just coming in when I came in, and you know, even then it was still fledgling to a point, right? And seeing just more shows be birthed and more people get involved and production quality and all the things, because one of the things you've talked about a lot is just those first like 2 or 3 episodes of Leo Brawn were literally you, Stitch, and like one other person.
Yeah.
And so and you've talked about your part of the plan is you're going to redo those episodes, right? With like a full cast. Is that
Yeah.
still a thing, or is that
That
just
is
kind of
still-
a dream that?
No, that is still a thing. It's just, I think we've been in a, like, coming into 2026, right? Yeah, coming into 2026 was a little, I really wanted to hit the ground running, but there's been so much transition right now, handing off of different things. And so that's why, like, for the listeners, we just had a table read tonight on an episode of Magnetar. And so we've definitely eased into it, maybe a little more than I would have liked, but I know the transitional aspect was necessary. So yeah, with so many legs, there's just so many moving parts now, and I'm trying to get to a point where everything feels like I sort of can see it and feel it, and now I understand it, and it doesn't feel so scattered and, you know, a little disorganized, if I'm being honest. But we're getting there. We're getting there.
I mean,
Growing and having the growing pains that come with it, I think.
from the inside, it feels more organized-ish. I mean, you know, I don't see a ton, not as much as, say, you or Terry or Jim or anyone like that. But I imagine it being out of your hands could feel a little disorganized in the sense that now you have to, like, relinquish some control over something that is, you know, you want it to still go down a specific or semi-specific path. You don't want to see it go off the rails.
Yeah, that's been a challenge because it was just sort of me, you know, and I was doing the writing, especially the writing aspect of it, and then, of course, doing the mixing and soundscape and all that stuff. It was all me doing it, but what we have in place now, which I really do like, even though it has been a real challenge for me to sort of like just relinquish some of the control, is sort of an audio or like a quality aspect. Like yes, I've done my bit, but now I have feedback before it's out in the world. It's just sort of maybe if we did this, so there's a little bit more collaboration involved. So it's not just all in my mind from my ears, and like there's some people listening in that get to kind of have feedback. I do have veto power, so if I'm just like, no, I'm going to do it anyway, and then I can just do it. But that doesn't always happen. So.
It is yours. Yeah, it is still is yours.
Yeah, it's your baby.
I feel like you haven't signed any contract saying it's also someone else's a little.
No,
I haven't signed a contract, so I know he could boot me out of here at any point.
No.
True. We're booting you,
Yeah.
Mike.
So how was it? I mean, as far as I know, like at the time we're recording this, as far as I know, the first episode of anything to hit the airwaves that was not fully produced by you was the latest episode of Magnetar that Larry did. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah.
And that was episode 5 of Magnetar, 5 or 6?
6, I think. Yeah. Echoes of the Starfarer. Yeah.
And it was an amazing episode. So how did that feel? Like, you wrote it, you have final veto, but to have someone else put their hands all over it, and then you listen to it, and hear. It's one thing to sit in a table read and listen to everybody speaking your words and coming up with their own interpretations that hopefully you enjoy. But to have the entire episode pulled back to you and say, here it is, here's what I've done with it. Was that weird? Was it cool?
That was really cool.
Yeah,
that was really cool because, part of it is relief, that, okay, I handed it over to someone who really
the
gets
right
it
person.
and understands what they're doing. Yeah, because it was something he really wanted to do too, Larry Oblander in this case.
Yeah.
And so he wanted to spread those wings as well. So it worked out. And he was one of the first to reach out. And this is before we'd sort of announced some of the big changes and some of the, different collaborations that we'll be doing this year. And so it just sort of had already started to happen organically, and then he just had a real knack for, especially like the directing. He's taken like I have directed like in more of like in a live one-on-one, like in plays and stuff, but never in voiceover, never in voice acting. It's always just been, we've had our conversations or emails and stuff, but we've never had like a session where you guys are acting and I'm, guiding through that performance. So he's actually, he had taken it upon himself to do some of those things. So we got some performances out of some of the actors that we'd never really been able to get to before. So I was super impressed with that. Maybe even more so than, even though the soundscape was great, I loved that he took it upon himself to go the extra mile, because it wasn't really a conversation that we had. Unfortunately, because he hadn't run it by me, it's the last time he'll ever be able to do it. In fact, he's not on the show anymore. But beyond that,
sorry, Larry,
you didn't ask.
It's been good. It's been a good run.
Kidding.
Yeah.
No, he's been.
No, in fact, Larry was there at the table read today. I can tell you, he's still involved.
He was there. Had the director's hat on. Right after the table read, we were talking and sharing notes and stuff like that. So no, just that's been a real blessing, that collaboration in particular. So it just happened so naturally, and we just happened to have sort of that shorthand without even really knowing each other that long. So it's been really great.
Wow.
Well, that's good. And can you let's kind of talk about the people, right? I mean, you started out, you and Stitch, your son, very early on. Jim Frank and Terry Briscoe came in and have been a huge part of Shoestring TV, and are now on the board of directors of Shoestring TV. Is that what we call it?
Yeah, the board.
The board. Yeah, and and then slowly but surely, Mitch got involved, and all these other voices started coming in. But now we're starting to get some pretty heavy hitters. So can you talk about, and maybe not the roles they're doing, but can you talk about some of the people that have been pulled into this family over since even the beginning of the year?
Well, and I think that was one of the things I had talked to Jim and Terry about. It was pretty transparent about it. Obviously they've been great partners, as many of you have. So many of us have been working together for a long time now, and even though we haven't met, feel very close. And we just this was this thing that just seemed like fate in a way, or kismet or something. It was just working. Like you assemble these people, you never know it's going to work or not, and it just has happened to work. And I think that by and large we all like each other and get along really well. So, but when I asked Jim and Terry, it was, I was pretty honest with them and just saying, like, look, it would take me years to develop the connections and the inroads that they've already created in the however many years they've been involved in voiceover. So, I said, can I capitalize on that? And in return, you have some control as well. So, you'll have a controlling part of this thing. Should it ever take off, then, that's the rewards would be there, if it does. And so they accepted, and they're also sort of fulfilling different aspects. Like Jim is going to be more over like the quality aspect. Terry, even prior to being a member of the board, was very instrumental in a lot of the casting for a lot of the shows. So it just seemed like a knack that he really had, something that he enjoyed. So we're sort of using those. Now we have, again, instrumental were Jim and Terry in making this happen, but Malik Berger and Allison Casa also joined the board. In fact, and Allison had even agreed to be in an episode of Magnetar, so look out for that, listeners.
She was part of that table read.
Yeah, and so
keep on the lookout.
I can take no credit. I'm very flattered that they, were asked and said that they wanted to be a part of it. So that was definitely a validation, but I certainly had nothing to do with it. So now it's just trying to make it seem official enough that they'll stick around, that it doesn't look like a complete, sham. They'll be like, what the hell is this? Jim, what did you ask me to do? So, but they've been great. I've had some one-on-ones with them, and, they're huge proponents of audio dramas and voice acting or audio cinema, as we're liking to call it now. Or in the case of Topaz and Stillman, more of like a audio zany comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're both huge supporters, and they just want to help lift that industry up. So I think that's why they're a part of it. And
even in the short time that I've been involved in voiceover, I have seen just a tremendous growth in audio drama, audio cinema. There's an appetite for this because it's hearing good actors do good quality scripts, bring them to life, that may not get produced otherwise in other genres of whether it's TV, movies, or anything like that. So it's great to be able to see these stories come to life. And of course, there's always the hope and the maybe someday this can get made into an animation or something to that effect. That would be lovely. But even if it doesn't, I mean, this lives in a space that is accessible. You go to your favorite streamer and download the episode and
go on a jog.
Enjoy it in your car or wherever. And it's just been a heck of a lot of fun. And this is right now, until I booked that Disney cartoon, this is my favorite medium. This is my shoestring TV. The stuff I've done for you, Jason, has been my favorite thing to do in voiceover. So I just have a blast, reading. I get that next script in my email, and I'm like, I open it up immediately and start reading it. So
yeah. Well, you've had some meaty roles, especially with Mr. Kif Maxon. That's been sort of your a juggernaut, as I like to say.
Yeah, I will say that is the most favorite thing I've ever done. Kif has gotten a kind of has a life of his own.
Yeah,
because I don't know. Did you envision him to be such a major player in Topaz and Stillman?
No.
When you wrote him?
I give all credit to you. Kif was really going to just be a one-time character, and but in the table read, what you brought to him in that episode, I was like, I can't get rid of this guy.
Yeah.
Everybody's laughing, like on the table read. I'm like, well, this is what we want, so if they're responding this way, then Kif has to stick around. So
well, I love that I was able to Chris Pratt the role of Kif Maxon into something that became a major part of it. And in fact, I am so looking forward to, and maybe by the time this airs, it will be out. But I don't know where we are with Topaz and Stillman. But I think episode 5 has dropped. Episode 6 is coming.
Yes.
Episode 7, personally, I just can't wait for. I just can't. Because
we're starting the edit on that one now. Because so Gunner's working on 6. Bill Seller's going to work on 7. Because we have all the dialogue for it. So that is going to be Mike's tour de force. Right
that's
there.
my opus right there.
It really is, because I was looking, I was like, okay, so that's Mike, this is Mike. It's like 6 characters he's playing, I think, at one.
Yeah,
holy crap!
One point. So it's
nice,
pretty impressive. So I'm excited about
well,
that.
it's a lot of Keef and a lot of Keef adjacent.
What's kind of
stuff
funny about that show is I thought it was kind of it's definitely more colorful, more of like an animation. And like Jim is at first one of the most colorful, oddball characters, but as the show's going on, like it just gets it's like Alice in Wonderland of the wackiest, weirdest, like what?
Yeah.
Chet Lasky, like what's he doing? Like,
well, see, that's another one that. So when you talk about like inspirations, like that, Chet kind of just came to me because I wanted to give you. Mitch, I wanted to give you had done something, and I don't know where it was, but you had given
it was
me
a
like
table read for a cop.
Yes.
I think that someone wasn't there.
And you did a voice, and I was like, that's got to be a character.
Yeah.
And so it was just trying to figure out. It's like I knew that Katie Jostock, she plays Maury's sister. I knew she was coming in, and I was like, well, what if we gave her this love interest? And I said, well, what's kind of a douchey name? Is like Chet.
Lasky.
Yeah.
but then you just, so that's becoming another one of my favorites too. So you're gonna have to.
I'll tell you. I mean, that was one of there's 2 characters. I've said this. There's 2 characters in Topaz and Stillman, where when we were been in a table read, immediately just busted me up, and I'm like, the casting's so perfect. And one of them is a role that I wanted. I really wanted to do
Balzac.
Oh, Balzac, Freddie Balzac. I was trying to get this sleazy voice, and then you gave it to Sean Scott, and I'm like, okay. And Sean came in and just did his
so
cool,
fucking funny.
his sleaze, his just pimpish. And as soon as he started doing that, I'm like, okay, I am so glad you gave it to him because he is so dang perfect in that.
Oh my God, he's
and
so
the
hilarious.
Second one was this guy right here when he started doing Chet Lasky. I made sure I was on mute because I was just I was crying. It was so funny.
Platitudes, and so forth. You don't know. He's written perfectly.
So good.
Some of them I'm like, well, when you first were like, I need that to be a full character, I'm like, I was just fucking around. Like, I gotta figure out how to do that guy for a longer period of time there. Yeah, I have to.
That's always the problem is keeping that character.
Yeah, I have to like go upstairs and be him for a while before I like really roll in.
I often wonder, like, because Topaz is still like, okay, so if you haven't heard it, for the people that are listening or watching in this case,
what are you doing if you haven't heard it?
Yeah,
yeah, like it's a spin-off of Leo Brawn, but it is the complete opposite of Leo Brawn, where Leo Brawn is dark and foreboding, and there's scary moments and touching moments. Topaz and Stillman is a 1980s, everything to excess, but it's full-blown, just wacky, zany, kind of absurd, really absurdist comedy is the way that I like to describe it. But it's very much, that's kind of my humor. It's like, I like stupid humor, like the dumber, like if you the funniest thing is like somebody thinking that they got their shit together and they have no idea just how ridiculous they really are.
Yeah.
And almost every character is like that, and then it's just all the hijinks. It's taking place in the 80s. I love
perfect decade
about movie satire and the film business, and from the little that I've gathered in my little time when I dabbled in that. So, it's like I didn't know if I could write it because it's not what I gravitate towards. Leo Brawn and Magnetar and maybe darker fare, the types of things that I normally gravitate towards. But when Jim and Terry had sort of pitched the idea, at first I said no. There was no way I was going to do it. And
Really?
only going to focus on Leo. That was it. And then I watched, for like the umpteenth time, I watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with Quentin Tarantino. And then after that, for some reason, I had watched Goodfellas. Well, not for some reason. Goodfellas.
I mean,
for like
you don't need a reason to watch Goodfellas.
Right. So I was like maybe the 100th time I'd watched that. And then I thought, oh, this is my way in. Like if I could merge these two worlds and then throw in some Mel Brooks comedy on top of it, like if you have that rhythm and that, you know, the music is driving everything all the time. And so I thought if I could make that happen, then I think I'd be really happy. And so far, I think it's definitely going that way. It's about to get even weirder and crazier.
Bring it on. Bring the weird, man.
So, and that is one thing, like we're really trying to get back on track with that. It's just with the, you know, the changing some hands, changing guard a little bit has taken a little bit of time. But so stay tuned, guys. Have patience. 1 through 5 are out there, plus a special Christmas episode, which I got to say, Brad Hyland starred in that as Santa. And that was a huge surprise. You know, again, Jim and Terry, they know the guy.
Pull some strings.
Yeah.
He pulled some strings. So very... And he just did an amazing job. Everybody.
I mean, are you surprised?
No.
A little insider. I think one thing, and maybe you weren't prepared for, in letting go of all the reins, is, of course, we all want to be the best. Like, we're not coming in going, "Oh, fuck this," you know. We all want to do really well. And you give us the freedom. A lot of people might not know this, but if I say a line differently, you might use that one because that's more towards the character, or you know, even a flub. I think sometimes makes it because it's so goofy or off the wall, or works as a stuttering character or whatever. I think giving it that sort of fluidity and that form has helped, like, I would say more the goofy moments, but
Yeah. No, well, and it's always just this huge surprise. Like I realized I'm not the type that writes something and then has to have it be word for word. You know, and you know, normally I just love the surprise. I like knowing that the actor got inspired and wanted to try something different, and by and large, because you are so sort of locked in at the character at this point, it works. It's not like completely outside of left field where it doesn't feel like that character anymore. And I got to say, too, when we're talking about characters, one of the standouts, the thing I hear over and over again, is how much they love who we haven't named yet, but like the studio engineer guy, sound engineer that you play, Mitch, and batting that off of Rhythm
apple.
And then you came up with this idea that you were eating chips or something, and now it's like, I love it, because that's the thing everybody asks, is like, when is he going to eat the next thing?
Next time become Brad Pitt, man.
Is this real? I don't. Okay. I am very surprised. Of course, he's like in between character. He's a segue essentially. He gets the story moving. Right.
Yeah. I mean, that was the thing. It was
but he's essential.
It's become so essential, and people actually look forward to it. It's like, oh, here's the sound engineer Rhythm Mercy, because Rhythm Mercy, because you know Damon just has this voice, so there's just this self-seriousness about this guy. You know, you just like this guy Rhythm, he just takes himself so seriously, and you and the sound engineer's having none of it. He's just like, you know, like,
I love that,
and that's how you wrote it. I mean, luckily you wrote him as like kind of condescending to the guy because he knows enough. He knows about the business. He's, you know, and I guess I kind of imagine that about sound engineers or directors or whatever. It's like, yeah, you're another actor. Like, just fucking do work, please. Stop.
Probably not the only one you're doing that day. So if you just get through it.
I'll be honest, if I can put my 2 cents in, I love the fact that he's not named. Don't ever give him a name. He's just the sound engineer. You know, it's kind of like
a big reveal.
I tried. I tried on the Christmas episode.
Maybe when the series wraps.
Yeah.
Then it can be, you know, thanks, Bob.
Yeah, it's
You
like,
know?
hey, Rhythm, you never even asked me my name, asshole.
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah, it's got to be something, I don't know. Yeah.
Mercy Rhythm.
Yeah, something silly. Yeah, that's so
Yeah.
interesting.
Jack Kumquat.
Just little, and what I love is that people can, especially with the internet these days, people can kind of come together and have all these like little conspiracies about these things, and even us actors, we don't know,
Yeah, we don't know where the story is going.
no
so that's,
idea.
That's why I love getting that next script of whatever show it is, because then I'm like, oh, I get to be an insider. I get to know what's coming before everybody else that listens to it, and we don't have any idea. So this just
Yeah.
Yeah, the one show that I'm having, so Topaz and Leo are very much sort of there's sort of this architecture of where it's going, and then with Magnetar, it's more of a free flow. I have I know where it ends, but like how I get there there's so a lot of freedom, and I'm talking about the challenges. I know, but this is a different writing style. Like, can I just, can I not already have the idea in some spreadsheet somewhere, and then I have to look at that and say, okay, yeah, this has to come in now, but instead just go with it. So that's kind of what's been fun about, like, well, I don't want to give anything away. I can't do that, but like, saying, like, maybe going into a flashback, going into a different
well,
place.
like today's episode was a complete
that was
non
what I was gonna
sequitur,
say.
and
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a flashback to, like, it still ties into
oh yeah,
what's going to happen in Magnetar, some of which has already happened, but it was just a totally off the wall thing, So I love it.
And I will tell you, just in having personal conversations with him, Mike Cunningham, who plays Agent
Beef
Pot
stew.
Roast. Is he Pot Roast or he's Beef Stew? Right, I
Beef
can never
Stew.
keep him straight. Yeah, he's Beef Stew. He's told me, he said Magnetar is his favorite. As much as he loves the stuff in Leo Brawn and everything, Magnetar is his favorite just because it's organic and it grows and it goes in unexpected twists. I mean, not that any of the rest of them don't, but Magnetar especially is like, you still 5 episodes in, you really don't have a good grasp of what that show is about, and that's the beauty of it.
That is pretty interesting, and I still love it.
Yeah. That was he's shared that with me too, and it means so much. And my wife has always said that for whatever reason, Agent Beef Stew is her favorite character, so they could never meet. But but no, I love writing it, and I have always said, like, it's funny you mentioned, like, we're 5 episodes in and still don't really know what's going on, because that was the kind of the idea. I guess I like to try and like merge genres. So the idea was, if you took like The Office, like dark comedy, workplace kind of comedy, but then you gave it the sci-fi edge, and then mixed it with Seinfeld, where a lot of the time they're just having these nonsensical conversations, like these two people talking. The whole idea originally was just going to be like, you've got these secret agents spying on something, and they're just having conversations about dreams and food and whatever. And so it was going to be it was going to be a little bit more like that, but I can't help, eventually I have to, like, there's got to be something else, some bigger.
Please let there be something.
Oh man, yeah.
No, not for me. I'm just saying, like, that's how your brain works.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I do not know what to expect, and I love that because it could. I mean, it could literally go anywhere.
Oh yeah.
You could. Yeah. I mean, the show is so just wild that anything you introduce, you listening to it, you'd be like, yeah, okay,
That sounds about right.
I buy that.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, it was
It's a
fun,
little
too.
meta, too.
Yes, which I
Oh,
love.
I love
that.
the meta of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you did that episode about, I mean, I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but there's a little bit about AI in there.
Yeah.
And
Voice
yeah.
acting.
and that was like, I read that, and everyone in the cast was like, yes.
Yeah. Well, and it's been I don't know. It's been a satisfying one because I've gotten to throw in little bits of my life, like Agent Pot Roast when he's talking about a recurring nightmare that he had. It was just one that I had. It was one that I had growing up. So I thought,
Draw
wow,
from
I can
personal
finally get
stuff.
to use my weird lizard biting off my thumb recurring dream thing. So I just threw it in. It's like, I don't know why I ended up in a field full of cows, but that's where the dream went. And I had it like 3 or 4 times. It was terrifying as a kid. So I'm like, I'm going to use it in this show. So
I'm happy you said
fun.
that, because I was wondering what else maybe you've put maybe in the future episodes or the past episodes. Like what other significant moments like were plucked right out of your life? I think we talked about this before.
Yeah, and Magnetar, I can't think of anything in Magnetar. Of course, in Leo, several of the characters are like June Chesterfield was named after my grandmother, June Westerfield, and then the mentor of Leo Brawn, the detective that he sort of learned everything from, was named Laddie or nicknamed Laddie, and my grandfather was nicknamed Laddie.
Oh, okay.
And so that's been really satisfying, just to sort of put little things like Lori Stryker, and my sister's name is Lori, so it was just things like that, just to kind of throw in.
She
there.
got a cool character.
Well, we expect to see a script from one of them where there's 2 guys named Mitch and Mike that are bumbling around.
Yeah, they just have.
Oh yeah.
Hey, you want to be on our podcast?
Yeah.
Starting
this podcast.
That would be interesting, though. Think about it.
It's about football.
Because the technology is finally starting to catch up in Dante. If you guys were the first podcast in Dante.
Yeah. Join us live from hell.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, obviously, I mean, you know, we've got Leo Brawn season 2 coming up. We've got Magnetar in full swing. You got Topaz and Stillman is getting some serious legs and enjoying the heck out of that.
Yeah.
Other things coming up. We've got Stitch himself, Stitch Mainville, Leo Brawn himself, has written a spin-off from Leo Brawn that and I'm reminded of this because you mentioned Laddie. It takes place when Leo was still alive, and that was we've recorded all the dialogue for that. I think it's an 8-episode arc, and he plans for more depending on what happens with Leo Brawn too. So,
yeah, and I've given Stitch like full. You know, he can
go have fun.
He loves the character. Yeah, so he's already got, I think, plans for many more episodes, sort of in the, you know, What Would You Leave Behind universe, and so yeah, I mean, he loves the character. He just sort of fully embodies Leo Brawn, and so he just knows that world. And we had always talked about, you know, I mean, I love detective shows and films and true crime and murder mysteries and all of that stuff. So it was always the plan to show some of that and go back and see them when they were alive and investigating different crimes and stuff. So he had this great concept for one, and I love how, not to give too much away, but I love that it's not this cookie cutter sort of cut and dry sort of story, and very powerful story. So I'm really excited for those to come out. Yeah, very excited.
Me as well. And then you've also non-audio drama. You have like a paranormal podcast that you're doing, right?
Yeah, it's changed a little bit. Yeah, originally it was going to be more of a the show was going to be a sort of a discussion on fear, and then interspersed into that would be some sort of personal anecdotes or things stories in my life where I couldn't quite explain what happened. That's still in the works, but what I've sort of turned it into now, and Mitch is aware, is this sort of impromptu but sort of planned thing where I'm starting to explain where the stories come from inside the world of a place called Obsidian, and that's where all of the stories, like for Leo Brawn and Magnetar and Topaz and Stillman and others, sort of live, if you will. So there's sort of a story within a story of how these things were created, but it's very dark and mythical, and there's 2 episodes. Those are sort of like Patreon exclusive stories that you can listen to, so, you know.
Join the
Subscribe.
Patreon. So we will put the link to subscribe to Patreon when we post
it drew
this
me
episode.
in. I was like, I'm going to narrate this, and he can
beautiful.
put this in the trash or do whatever he wants.
Which he has.
That was
Not put in the trash.
He put it right in the
Mitch
trash.
narrated it, yeah.
He's like, "Fuck that."
Thanks, Mitch.
I'm emptying my recycle bin. Yeah. What is this? What is this?
No, it was
And then there's you've opened it up for more collaboration, more ideas, more possible things in the future. I know I've pitched something. We'll see if that gets legs. But there somewhere down the road, there's going to be more coming out of Shoestring TV.
That's the plan. Yeah,
and that's
the plan. The goal is, I mean, I'll still do my originals, but I wanted this to be a platform for others if they had an idea and they didn't mind having it be produced under the Shoestring TV umbrella. That there would be a place for that. That they would have the full control to write the story and tell the story that they wanted to tell. But that this would be a place where they could do that. So so we have opened that up to members of the cast and people that are associated with us. If they have a story, if they have an idea, and it's something that they would want to produce, then we're all for it. So we have started a writer's room. We've been doing that just about every Tuesday since the new year, because we're collaborating with Kristen Paiva and Paiva Productions. We're producing several scripts for her for some upcoming classes that she has for casting directors and then directors.
Wow.
So she needed some original material for that. So we are writing the scripts, which are sort of, for us, going to be used as pilot scripts. So basically, we'll use these. So each one is like a standalone episode. Nothing tied to any of our existing stories, and then what we'll give those to Kristen so she can do her courses. But then for us, if we feel like some of them really have legs, then we can actually produce them beyond just the pilot. So we're really excited about that. That's coming along. So Stitch has been helping with that. Lucas Martinez is another writer that's been working with Jim Frank on one of his shows, and he's a very talented writer. Andy Parkin, who handles so many of our
How is it 50 minutes into this episode and we haven't mentioned Andy yet? That's a travesty.
Right? Yeah, great guy. Super. Just he's helping in every aspect. I mean, it started like just right hand man, but now I think he does so much, and he voices stuff. He's behind the scenes. He schedules things. He's even writing some things for his for this Paiva production collaboration. So, yeah, instrumental in what we've been able to accomplish so far.
That's it.
Well, man, yeah,
It's too much.
It landed.
there's so much, and and again, I mean, just thank you for letting me be involved.
Same.
And I'm sure Mitch would say the same thing.
I would. Yeah, I'm right here. I'll say it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Okay.
Thank you. No, you opened up a world for me. I put this in an interview I was in recently. Audio drama was not on my radar at all, and I didn't really understand what I was getting into when we started, and it's become my absolute favorite. I love animation, but audio drama is like, you can bring emotion, you can bring the funny, you can bring whatever the hell.
You can act your ass off.
Yeah,
That's it.
emotional timings allowed. There's going to be, there's some freedom to it. So I appreciate you showing me a new world.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, I appreciate all of you. I mean, I don't know how. I don't even know if I'm that spiritual, really. But this whole thing felt very, I don't know, like it was meant to be. I don't know how else to explain it, except that when this started, like, I didn't know that a year from now, there was going to be sort of this resurgence of audio dramas or audio cinema, that we were going to be talking about this in panels at conferences. I just knew I had to create, because I was in the corporate world, and watching my soul leave my body every day.
Slowly.
Seep out of your nostrils.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, all right, well, you got to do something. And then podcasts just at the time just seemed like, well, there's no real barrier there. I could probably do this on my own, at least in the beginning. And that's what I thought. But the way that it's all come together is, I feel like we all kind of did this, like we all worked together on it in a way. So it's not false humility, guys. I just don't see this as like, I did it all and I had the foresight to see that, no, it really wasn't like that at all. Just
You opened the door and we all walked through it.
Yeah.
all walked through it
We all
together,
gladly
hand
in hand.
stepped
with
into
no
the
pants.
clown car with Jason, and we're all mushed in there just working together.
Pantsless.
Pantsless.
Yeah.
Just like in hell.
Yeah.
And with that, even though this is a special episode of Mitch and Mike's voiceover journey, Jason did express a desire to do a little chat GPT roulette with us. So I think we're going to go ahead and work that up, figure out what we're going to do, and hear Jason cut up. So,
Okay. Unplanned.
oh my gosh, this is so absurd.
Jason's the writer.
All right.
Yeah, well, yeah, Jason came up with the idea, and we ran with it. Well, Mitch ran with it. I just sat back and went, what in the world?
All right.
Living room. Grandpa Clarence sits in a recliner holding a single beige tube sock, like it's a historical artifact. A dusty transistor radio hums faintly.
Gentlemen, gather round. And Lucy.
I'm a gentlewoman.
Of course you are. A gentlewoman of impeccable sock lineage.
Grandpa, why are you holding that sock like it's the Declaration of Independence?
Because, gentlemen, this is, is a 1954 mid-calf ribbed cotton, no elastic betrayal. You didn't wear socks in the 50s, god damn it. You entered into a pact with them.
Did they bite?
They sagged with honor.
That sounds uncomfortable, Grandpa.
Gentlemen, listen to me. Comfort is a modern illusion. Gentlemen, in 1957, if your sock fell to your ankle during a bus ride, you accepted fate.
Why didn't you just go ahead and pull it off?
Because the bus was moving. Next question.
But Grandpa, buses still move.
Not like they used to, damn it. Gentlemen, in the 50s, a bus ride was a symphony of coughs and loose change. You'd sit on that cracked vinyl seat listening to the engine rattle like a coffee can full of destiny.
That sounds loud.
It was glorious. Transistor radio. Gentlemen, this little box brought the world to your pocket. News, baseball, advertisements for flapjack syrup that tasted faintly of ambition.
Grandpa, what does ambition taste like?
Corn. Next question.
Mom makes gluten-free pancakes.
Gentlemen, there was no such thing as gluten-free flapjacks. If you wanted flapjack, you committed to it. You flipped it with authority. You burned at least one. That was tradition.
I don't understand, Grandpa. You're nostalgic about burnt pancakes?
Not pancakes. Flapjacks. Pancakes are what people eat when they don't believe in themselves.
But what's the difference?
One is round, the other is round. But with conviction.
That's the same shape.
Not spiritually, gentlemen. Gentlemen? Gentlemen, in 1959, I rode the number 12 bus with a sagging sock and a pocket transistor, eating a flapjack folded into a napkin. I had no destination, just vibes.
Oh,
You get me?
well, were you okay?
I was thriving, gentlewoman.
Grandpa, you know you can still ride a bus and eat pancakes, right? I mean,
It's not the same. Today's buses are punctual. The socks clean. The flapjacks are symmetrical. Where's the barrel? Where's the sag?
Grandpa, we could buy bad socks.
yeah, and if you want, we could, like, burn pancakes on purpose.
And take the bus somewhere totally weird.
Sure.
Gentlemen. Oh, gentlemen. And Lucy,
Yeah.
you do that for history.
For chaos.
And science.
Then tomorrow at dawn, we ride.
It's 4 p.m. right now.
Dawn is a state of mind, gentlemen.
Try new super elastic socks. They never sag.
Future was a mistake.
Gentlemen, we revolt
Against socks?
against symmetry.
Who am I, snob? Damn it! Gentlemen, it begins!
Yeah!
I'm Mickey Mouse.
Okay.
Grandpa, your socks are sagging.
Wow.
That was fun.
Gentlemen. When you ask them to say gentlemen, ChatGPT.
ChatGPT says, okay.
All right, we'll put it in every sentence, and then Jason will say it
the
even
gusto
more.
that you gave that, Jason. Goodness. Every gentleman that came out was just a little bit more intense.
Gentlemen. That was hilarious.
you
I
for
hope you had
indulging
fun,
me. I
and man,
appreciate
it was fun
it.
to
Yeah, it was
hear
fun.
you just let loose.
Yeah.
Because
I
most of
needed
the time we're sitting in those table reads, and everybody else is cutting up and letting loose, and you're sitting back going,
Right. Mike is fake laughing right now for listeners.
all right, well, good times, Jason. Again, just if you don't subscribe, the link to the Patreon is going to be on in the liner notes for this. Go to the Patreon. Find Shoestring TV on Spotify, Apple Music, all the places that you find your favorite podcasts. And just if you haven't started listening, pick up Leo Brawn, pick up Topaz and Stillman, pick up Magnetar, whatever else comes out. This is quality stuff, man. And I'm not just saying that because I'm involved. Jason, thank you again for all you do and for the entertainment that you bring to us, being involved and also being able to listen to everybody and all the episodes.
Absolutely. Thank you. And thanks for having me.
Mitch, you look like you're going to say something, or are you?
I'm not sure. I think what I want to say is